This podcast was recorded in Melbourne, Australia, known by the traditional owners as Nam. We would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We celebrate their resilience, their continuing culture, and acknowledge that their sovereignty was never ceded.
Hello and welcome to the Book of War, an Avatar Legends real play. My name is Jesse Thomas and I play Minh Fang, the Foundling, he, him, a runaway from the Earth Kingdom who... Why does this happen every time? A runaway from the Earth Kingdom who ran away to the Northern Water Tribe to hide from deadly family secrets. Why is this so hard? Why can I not do this?
It's because this is not a scripted show. We just make it up as we go along. And this is the one thing you've actually written down.
I hate who I am as a person. Minh Fang, my Minh fact for us this time is that Minh Fang still has troubled marked. So he specifically has a -2 to plead and to rely on your skills and training. Because I feel like if there was any reason he would just not be troubled, the state of the town that we're in on Natsuo Island has continued to keep him troubled. He's not okay, Minh Fang, right now. He's really upset by what he's seeing, which is motivating a lot of his decisions. So yeah, he's really a bit not unhinged, but not stable.
My name is Lucas Lee. I play Tomo, he, him, a lost boy turned smooth criminal who prefers his dumplings steamed, not fried. He is, he's having a good time, I think.
Is he?
No, he's not. There's definitely like a push-pull happening within him, and I think he's doing his best to try to figure it out without letting anybody know that he's trying to figure it out.
I think you all need to learn love, self and otherwise. It's a time.
No love, only war.
Only war.
It's the Book of War, not the Book of Love.
Excuse me. Balance is also a big part of this.
Hello, my name is Georgie Hazel and I am playing Nuro, the Destined, they, she, he, whatever you prefer. Whatever you prefer.
The listener at home.
The listener at home.
Rather than the microphone.
Yes.
Okay.
Nuro is a child from the strange and mystical foggy swamp and was forced to leave their home due to the threat of war, but stranger things might have followed them out of that swamp.
Is it these bloody pirates?
They keep following us everywhere. They must have.
Technically, they got here before you did.
I don't want to hear it. What I want to hear is Georgie's details about Nuro, please.
Yeah, no fact, but I will say it's very interesting playing a kid that very clearly has a big destiny, but they're literally 10.
Big destiny energy.
Big destiny energy.
I've got. Yeah, is it just big destiny energy, or does Nuro know their destiny?
We'll have to see.
That's so not committal. Like, that's not even oh, yes, but I'm being coy. It's just like, I haven't thought that far ahead yet.
Maybe I have, Ash. Maybe I have.
Well, then you know your destiny. You're destined.
It is before me.
Yes. Fulfill your destiny. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
What was that?
Oh, sorry, was that on mic?
I'll do it. My name is Ted Darling, and I play Banji the Guardian, he, him, a defector from the Fire Nation Army who has instead chosen to use his strength to protect the vulnerable. Banji has been on the other end of this fight in terms of this village. So he's feeling pretty large amounts of responsibility and wanting to change the situation, given that his thing is he wants to protect the vulnerable. This is a big deal for him. He's like, no, we need to do the right thing here and sort this out because it's not right.
Hi, my name's Ash. I am your GM, your Djinn Master. And this actually comes from Dice Drenga, which is exciting because they're actually talking about something in the game. Now, normally Djinn is spelt with a J, but I really like the spirit. And we often talk about spirits in this show, so Djinn Master works. Positive Djinn, negative Djinn, and neutral Djinn. So that's exciting. I've got another GM to play with. So
That's fun.
I like that.
And that was from TikTok too. So.
Oh.
Hey TikTok. How you
Hey,
doing?
hey, TikTok listeners. Speaking of, sorry, what?
What's a TikTok? Sorry, I'm over 30.
Speaking of social media bits and pieces, you really should head over to the Facebook page if you're not already on it.
Facebook group.
Facebook group. There you go. You've got to be accepted. We don't just let any old scum in. If you're on the page, you're amazing, and we love you very much. If you're not on the page, where you at?
Again, it's a group.
It's you go to a web page to get into unless you're on the app, and oh no, we've thrown it. And moral of the story: we get fan art even when we don't ask for it, even when we specifically say please don't draw this. It still comes out. Damien, I am once again looking at you.
Keep it up, Damien. Love your work.
Yeah, love your work, Dave.
Thank you, Damien.
Goose monkey.
I mean,
Monkey.
actively, secretly, I also love it too, but I can't let him know that. And it's not like he listens to this podcast or anything. But no, we also have memes. We have like so many other things that we throw up there. So really, really good way to interact with the cast, and it's a good way to see what else is going on.
Yeah. Also, like if you want to have a chat to us on the page. On the group. Well, I'm doing it. On the group. Absolutely go for it. I speak for myself, at least. I'm like, I'd happily have a chat with you on the page if you want to have a chat. Or please actually send your memes, because I'm all about the memes.
Yeah, we love
My
the
favorite
memes.
part.
Yep. So, I mean, Ash and I make memes after every episode just for our own enjoyment, and then we share them with you guys. But we're fine at the memes. I feel like there's some better memers out there. So, like, let's go. Let's get the memes going, people.
Speaking of memes, let's get to some pirates.
I walked straight up to Boster, the captain. Like, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
No, I asked.
Sorry, Boster's the most normalist, not the
Sorry,
captain.
I mean Boster.
Boster.
I walk up to Boster, the
All
captain.
right, it's very simple, everybody. Boster is the most normalist one. Boster is the one that bosses people around, and Buster is the big boy.
Bossy, captain, Boster. Boster!
Boster, you just said it.
Oh my god. Oh,
I said Boster. You! Pirates! What are you... I asked first, what are you doing here?
Are we being attacked by ninjas?
You will be, if you don't tell me right now, but I take off the hood so they can see my face.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, it's all of us.
It's Minh Fang, right? The one, is the other one around?
yeah, Tomo sneaks up behind him.
I think that there's like a moment where he's still got like a cast on one of his arms, and he just like kind of like tearing off the sleeves of a shirt, so it's just he just tears the cast. He's like, "Oh, I'm ready."
Answer the question.
Oh right. Right. That's the question. We're taking food.
No, you're not, because we're taking this food and we're giving it back to the people that it was stolen from.
We're taking this food and give it back to the people that need it.
These people need it more.
Well, how do you know that? You haven't seen the other village.
There's another village?
Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. What village? Who have you been speaking to?
Well, we were down in the village because we needed some food. We were running out, so we came to trade, and they had nothing. They said they'd been raided.
That's what our village said. Are these different villages? Point to where the village is.
And she points to like the other side of the island.
Oh, damn it. There's two villages.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had lots of fruit trees and orchids and stuff, but they didn't have any fish.
All right.
No, this seems look, this is good. This
there's
is good.
two big boxes of food. We'll take one big box for our village, and you can take one big box for your village.
But then what do we eat?
Take some of theirs.
Well, they're a big village. They're going to need it.
Yes, so is theirs, and we're going to take a little bit of this one.
Excuse me, but y'all are pirates, right?
Yes.
Since when do you care about a little village?
Well, they were very nice to us. They tried to give us what little they had. We felt we owed it to them. And if you try and take it, and she does a little knife trick and they set on fire, it's like, you try and take it. I don't know what I'll do, but it's going to be bad.
All right, there is an equitable way we can decide on how much food is going to where. Okay,
Is it fight for it?
It will be if you don't shut up and listen, big man. Do you want to...
Did you want to roll intimidate or you just...
Yeah, all right, let's go. Minh Fang has had it with these pirates invading his life. Oh, yes.
Add passion.
That's a 12, baby. They do pick one that... All right, so on a 10 plus, first I pick one they can't choose. So they cannot run to escape or get back up. And I choose... They give in with a few stipulations.
No. It's they choose what they're doing. You just get to choose what they can't choose from.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
I choose they can't get back up or escape.
Okay. That means that they are open to attack you, which is, I think, what's about to happen. They're just like, equitable, eh? And they go to launch the first attack, and you are just ready for it. And you just, like, you see Buster just go this big overarm swing, and you telegraph this, like, so quickly, and you just uppercut him. Just bang, it's like, boo! And then we will get into maneuvers, everybody. Who's got what? Sorry, not maneuvers. Stance.
Defend and maneuver.
Advance and attack.
Defend and maneuver.
Defend and maneuver.
And as we get into this, Tomo's going to say to Minh Fang, the big guy's got a week left.
Jesse, what does Minh Fang do?
It's called dust stepping. It doesn't have to be an earthbending move specifically. It is just inspired by that. So Minh Fang is going to try and whip up a rope onto like a flagpole. Similar to the move he did where he kicked Banji in the chest on the boat, he's going to swing himself around to get a bit of altitude and distance and just be above. Well, my focus is still -1, and that was a 7, so that's a 6. That's a fail.
Okay. I think that you swing your rope up and get ready to do, and the pole just snaps.
Damn it.
Ted.
Banji's going to walk up to Boster, and as he does, he's going to pick up like a branch on the ground and sort of stand like in front of her, flick it up, and then catch it, and as he catches it, set it on fire, like the technique that she showed him. And that'll be Caesar position. So moving to a new location, engaging and disengaging with the foe. So I believe he's engaging with Boster.
Yeah, perfect. This is fictionally appropriate because it is Boster's turn. And
I have to roll for that though.
You do.
Yeah.
You just made it sound so cool that I just wanted you to succeed.
I did. I got a 9, so.
Nice. Yes, you see Boster. She smiles. She's like, that's some nice learning. I never taught you this. And the knives that she has on fire just glow brighter and longer. So instead of being just sort of knife-shaped in fire now, they've now got pretty much double the reach that they had. And she's readied herself.
Damn.
Nuro.
Okay. Seizing a position, and this is like a just dirt floor that we're on. Going to search for all the moisture in the ground that I can draw up to create a little bit of a water shield for myself, and so that I can maneuver if I need to then also go in front of someone if they need it, especially Banji now.
Yeah, I think that sounds really excellent.
Yes, so I will roll now. 7. I'm a -1.
That means that you still succeed at what you're doing in terms of a basic technique. So that's perfectly fine.
Yep, I'm just creating a wolf now and keeping my eye on where everyone is.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's really, really excellent. Lucas, you're up next.
Boster's not a bender, right?
Boster is a earthbender.
Boster is a earthbender.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to roll first before I describe.
The worst part was that this swapped a little bit because Lucas started rolling in one hand and then at the last second changed to 2.
Roll with passion. My passion just got +1, so that is now a 9. I'm setting my sight on Boster because the other 2 are engaged. So when you're not a bender in a world full of bender, you have to move very quickly. So the way the Iron Mantis fly, there's a lot of work done to position myself, and then most of the power comes from the arms, and it's a very precise. I'm attempting to take out the bending by taking out his arms, basically. Like my hits are generated in that way.
Yeah. So in this case, you can you're forcing them to mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift their balance away from the center. But it's their choice. If you put extra effort into this and mark a fatigue, you get to choose.
I am going to put effort into this because Tomo is attempt to like a one and done kind of guy. Basically, he wants to take him out as quick as possible, as efficiently as possible.
Yep.
And I am going to inflict a condition.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to make him afraid.
Okay. Buster is staring down Minh Fang and says, I've seen this trick and I'm going to fall for it again. And he smacks the rope down out of your hand. And as he does, you see that he actually had a bit of water in it, and the rope hits the ground and freezes to the space. So he's just used the smash move on you to give an appropriate negative status. In this case, you can fight, but it's without the rope for the moment, unless you do something to free it.
Can't do anything now. So.
No, it'll be on your turn. And we also have Boster is ready to fight. He's currently afraid, but he thinks, maybe I just shift this a little bit. And he's actually going to attempt to bolster. He steps backwards, and as he does, you realize you're semi in the path of where Boster is flailing around with her fiery knives, and you realize that if you want to get in close, you're going to expose yourself to a bit of the danger that she's throwing around. Phase 2. Everyone, take your pick. Pick a stance.
Can I just ask, if I want to use a learned move, what do I have to roll to be able to do that?
So, I'm glad you asked, Ted. Learned moves are tricky the very first time you do it, because you need to roll above a 10 on whatever you're doing. Once you roll above your 10, it means that you can expend 1 fatigue and do it. And then that means it is now a practiced technique.
Great.
Once it becomes a practice technique, you still need to roll a 10, but it doesn't cost you fatigue. And once you complete your mastery condition, in your case, your newest technique is your fire shield. To do that, you need to destroy 3 items, which fictionally is keeping it active for about 3 rounds. I was thinking about this, actually. I never actually told you. I think this is something you can do. If you see a fight's about to break out, I think you can do this before the fight begins, once it becomes practiced.
Cool. Sounds good.
Perfect. Everyone pick a stance.
Defend and maneuver.
Defend and maneuver.
Banji will go advance and attack.
I'm going to evade and observe.
Nuro goes first.
Ooh, Nero's go first. Okay.
You were quick. Them's the rules.
Boster.
Boster.
Firebender.
The firebender.
Has fire already.
Yes.
Could I... don't know what this would be, but I would like to maybe retaliate against that and use a flow of my water to extinguish her fire.
Yeah, well, currently they're empowered, so you can attempt to retaliate. Again. Well, technically, this is this would be bolster or hinder, but in terms of retaliate, you can make it so that their strikes are harder to get through.
Yeah. Their strikes against Banji.
Against whomever.
Against whomever.
But that's okay. Roll for it. We'll see what happens.
10.
Amazing.
Wait, plus focus? 9.
Okay, that's fine. I was going to say, if you're on a 10, you actually could do 2 different things, but this works perfectly well. You set up your retaliate, and what that's going to mean is that anytime they want to do anything to another person, they inflict fatigue upon themselves. So you're making it so much harder for them to strike at Banji or Tomo, who is kind of sort of a little bit in range.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my shield kind of just awash in front of anyone before any fire kind of hits.
Yeah, I'm picturing Katara's like water whip motion that she does.
Very much so that to the side I'm controlling like this, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. Lucas, you're up.
Yep, I'm going to do lure, my mastered move. That's... Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That is a 5, I'm afraid.
Well.
Tomo was... So the idea was that Tomo would attempt to encourage Boster to come forward to him, so he does a needlessly showy cartwheel. And as he does so, he drops one of his tonfas.
Right, okay.
To look like, he's messed up, and it turns out he actually has messed up.
Hey, I like the idea. You're like, oh no, and you go to raise your right hand, and there's no tonfa there, and you look in your left, you're like, oh no.
That's probably what happened. Yeah. Needlessly showy.
It's that is excellent. I really like that. Okay. Bester sees that and goes, huh, and comes in for a strike. They are not putting in the extra effort for it. So you get a choice: mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center.
I'm gonna get angry.
Okay. Big old anger times. That brings us to Boster, who is also going to press the strike on Minh Fang, seeing that there's no weapon in the hand, not like thinking, yeah, if you can't fly around the place with your ropes, what are you? And the water that he's been holding onto in his hands hardens, and he just starts laying a few pummels in. And I think that, again, we've shown that Minh Fang is a big dodgy boy, like can really maneuver, but is... I think that he's also been watching you. Watched you a little bit on the ship through a crack in the deck because he was below deck the whole time. It's just like, I've got a bit of an idea on how he moves, and he gets a couple of really, really good ones in through the ribs. So your choice: condition, balance, 2 fatigue.
I think I am going to mark a condition, insecure.
In advanced attack, we also have Ted going.
Hello. Banji is going to try and use his new learned maneuver, which is a sort of a customized version of Fireblade. It was described as being able to use it as a fire shield, but he's just trying it out.
You can absolutely
sort of improvised club.
Do it.
That he's got. Attacking Boster. Come on, Daddy needs a new technique.
Oh no,
it's not good.
What's your balance at the moment?
Full trust.
Full trust.
Oh.
So you can't purposely make your balance shift. So if you fail, you can shift your balance away from center to complete at least a basic maneuver. You can't even do that on this fail. So I like the idea that you swing your club at the time that Nuro's trying to douse something, and your branch just goes out, and you're now just holding a stick.
Do I still mark a fatigue?
No.
Okay, cool.
You just fail at what you're doing.
Cool. And I got a 6, so that's a fail.
Straight up fail.
Yeah.
But I think that... thank you for this opportunity.
That's what I live for.
I think that Boster looks at you and says, see, you can only trust yourself, and just completely swings this fire blade directly at your face. They are marking fatigue in this strike. And they are choosing shift your balance.
All right. So what does that mean?
If your balance shifts past the end of your track, you lose your balance. You obsess over the principle to the degree it's not healthy for you or anyone around you. You choose one of the following, Ted. Give in or submit to your opposition, lose control of yourself in a destructive and harmful way, or take an extreme action in line with the principle and then flee.
Ooh. I think what Banji would do in that situation, getting attacked with fire in the face, I think he's gonna step back and get out of the fight, and not I know it says flee, he's not gonna run away, but he's gonna be like, I can't do this, you guys have got this, because it's shifting balance to trust. He's sort of being like, I'm compromised. Maybe when she's flicked or shot fire at his face, there's like ash and cinders have kind of gotten in his eyes, and he's taken a step back and he's like, gang, I can't see. You've got to have to take this.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense in terms of that you are now trusting them to take over. You physically can't right now.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm very, very excited because I've been wanting to see what happens when someone loses their balance since before we started the game. So thank you for the golden opportunity.
Very welcome. So is Armin just out of the fight now?
You are officially out of this fight.
Yeah, cool.
All right, which means that we're into the evade and observe. Jesse.
Yeah, I think Minh Fang's seen this. He's taken a few hits and he's just starting to get a little bit stressed. So he's going to up the ante a little bit. I'm going to choose Bolster or Hinder, and we'll see what happens based on my roll. Okay, I can roll with Creativity or Harmony, which will be Creativity. So that's a mixed success at an 8. So I will Bolster or Hinder. Minh Fang takes a few hits. It's dark. Banji can't see. And the other two are otherwise indisposed. Minh Fang steps forward in a 1, 2, and twists and thrusts out 2 fists. And his rope, the knots fly forward, break out of the ice, and wrap around Boster.
So, Boster. Oh no, sorry, you're fighting Boster. I apologize. Cut
and
that
I'm going to hinder him and inflict the trapped status on him and completely wrap him up in my ropes.
I would like to can we just have you say on the microphone, because you sort of got away with this last time, your rope has just moved of its own accord.
Incorrect. Minh Fang, in the knots, Minh Fang has a rock in the middle.
No, but you didn't physically pick up the rope and do a thing. The rope did a thing.
Minh Fang, correct? Yes.
That's you don't need to tell us about any secrets other than anyone that happened to be looking. 1 second the rope was on the ground, the next second it was wrapped around someone, and you didn't touch it.
The rope broke out of the ice and wrapped this dude up. Yes.
Probably Sooty. It's probably Sooty.
Super useful in a fight, Sooty.
So useful.
And I think, he's trapped. So he just like gets wrapped up and just falls onto the...
Yes, I think that's exactly what happens. All right, into the final round.
Banji's just coughing and spluttering and trying to like wipe his eyes out and kind of stumbling back.
I am going to evade and observe again.
Evade and observe.
Defend and maneuver.
Lucas, defend and maneuver.
Look, the plan still is in motion. I am still going to attempt to lure him out. 11. So the plan's still in motion. I am still going to attempt to lure him out.
Yeah, you get a basic and a mastered, or 2 mastered, 2 basics. Or if you want to use your pinpoint technique, pinpoint accuracy, you can do it now. Was that defend and maneuver?
That was defend and maneuver. So I have to use lure.
Okay.
So that was me. So name a foe, naming best star. They have to come get me, and when they do, they must mark 2 fatigue.
Okay. Yes. So they have to come and get you.
Otherwise, they're gonna. If they don't, if they don't, then they must mark 2 fatigue. If they do, I become favored for the next exchange.
Okay.
Hang on. Is
there won't be
useless.
Another exchange after this one.
You still have another thing, so you could apply it to whatever you do next.
Yeah. So if we dial back a second, you can still do this, especially if you have another defender maneuver that you can apply to this situation.
So I'm gonna add retaliate to that.
Excellent. So you step back. You're like, all right, this time I'm going to actively try it. You pretend to drop your second tonfa, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, both my tonfas are dropped, so I am just stepping back, and my arms are still up, but I am just gonna be like a bit shaky, like pretending like I'm like trembling.
Okay. That's really excellent, and I like what's going to happen next, because it is Bester's turn next, and Bester just goes, same laugh that he did before, and like goes in to start throwing punches at you. The problem is that he thought this was going to be easy. So from a mechanical standpoint, he doesn't actually have the fatigue available to like overcome what you're doing. So he's like starts to attempt to wail on you, and cannot land a hit in any way, shape, or form. And you realize as that's happening, he's like, right, rock flies up here, go for a punch through there, try and fling a thing at you. He's just getting more and more worked up and getting nowhere near what he needs to do to you.
Yep. I'm gonna say, anyone here does Muay Thai? Just me?
No, I try to not fight with my arms and legs where possible.
That's all right. So the thing about Muay Thai is that you get really close to your opponent, and it's knees and elbows and places where you don't expect to be hit. Basically, like you going hard, you're going fast. Elbows to the throat, knees to the basically the stomach, abdominals area. Like it's a really good way to take down somebody who is overconfident.
Yeah, overconfidence was definitely key. And so while you're not necessarily hitting him hard enough to do proper damage, like absolutely you are wearing him out. No doubt about it. Boster is also going to turn around and just sort of survey where we're at. And I think that they look at Nuro and say, it's your turn, kid, and goes to have a slash at you. Your choice. Would you like to take 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance?
I will mark 2 fatigue.
Perfect. Yeah, I think Boster comes at you with like a ferocity you weren't quite expecting. Like, as much as you don't get along with these pirates, like that, even in that time you're on the boat, you just didn't quite expect it to be as ruthless. Oh yes, they are pirates. And so you defend everything. You manage to stop every blade slice with your water, but it just takes it out of you. Jesse, evade and observe.
Yes. Seeing this ruthless attack against Nuro, Min is going to run straight in front of Boster and attempt to sort of like grab her wrist and like pull her away to like stop her attacking. And I'll explain more what I'll do if I succeed.
Yeah, I'm keen.
That's not good.
You can still you can shift your balance to succeed if you...
Actually, this does make sense. I'm gonna move my balance 1 towards unity.
Just while you're modifying your sheet, one thing I don't think we've actually said on mic, when you choose evade and observe, you actually get fatigue back. So sometimes it's a useful technique to use there.
Yeah, so that also clears my last fatigue there as well.
Excellent.
I'm going to use test balance. Mark 1 fatigue to challenge an engaged foe's balance. Ask what their principle is. We know what the principle is. It's survival.
It is survival.
So if I already know their principle, instead shift their balance away from center by questioning or challenging their beliefs or perspective. What are you doing? How do you think this is going to go? And I've grabbed Boster by the wrist. And I'm like, you're already 1 man down. Your other guy is not far off. And I'm already standing here next to you. And you're attacking a child. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think you're going to win here today? Or do you think I'm going to hurt you more than I should? And I push her away. And I say, you have a choice. You can take half this food and get out of our face. Or I can knock you out and take all of it.
Okay. I think that hits pretty hard. You've shifted your balance for that one?
Yes.
What do you move more towards?
I've moved more toward unity.
Okay. That's strong. I really feel that.
Yeah.
Nuro, you're next before we see what happens after that.
Okay. I actually want to clarify with you, Jesse, to make sure that I'm using it right. But empty your mind. You don't make a move. You just shift your stance.
So you roll your stance first, and then you can shift what you're actually doing afterwards.
All right.
Based on so if you succeed, you mark 1 fatigue, and you can shift to any of the other stances you didn't choose.
Okay. So I got a 9, adding +2 with harmony.
Perfect.
I'm going to use the move Empty Your Mind and shift to Advance and Attack. And I'm just going to use Strike. And this is actually a swamp bending move where they turn their water shield into an immediate weapon. So
right.
Sharp, fierce, missiles of water, basically. So I'm going to shift my stance to maybe this weak-looking child trying to protect themselves to automatically just razor-sharp water pointed right at Boster, kind of backing up what Min is yelling in her face, basically.
Amazing. So if you put effort into this, you get to choose what to inflict on them with the strike. Alternatively, I get to choose.
You can choose.
Okay. I think that with that, yeah, you see Boster, her knives just completely incinerate. This is the thing she was talking about. If you burn things too hard, too long, they just go. And in that, you see her own hands are singed. Like she's really burned herself out doing that. And she sort of looks and she thinks about going to reach for another knife and just sort of goes, fine, fine, fine. Okay. You don't win, but we don't lose. Fair?
You keep telling yourself that.
I tell myself that every day, kid. Every day. That's how I survive.
Now take your stuff and go.
Is there a trick to this rope? It's really stuck.
I'll get it. I go over and I pull the rope, and the rope was sort of through his mouth as well. And I sort of like, I unfurl it. And I just give him this look that's like, you say anything, I'll hurt you. Sort of like that sort of like, you saw something you weren't supposed to see, and I'm going to assume you're going to stay quiet about it.
I mean, psychologically, this man has been so tortured by the people. Every single time he thinks he's figured out the tricks, there's another tricks. He just sort of goes, okay.
I just look at him and he's like, okay. And I'm like, yeah.
Can you help me up?
I help him up. And then I awkwardly help him up. And then when he's like standing, I do that like fake out thing where people just like, shove themselves at themselves. Like
he falls over again.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, it's like, I'm sorry. Look, my leg's still really sore.
Take your food and go.
But can you help me back up again?
Yes. I help him back up again.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, when...
Boster, get out of here.
Okay. Yeah, it's like, come on, Boster. And so between the three of them, they begin to like cart off their crate full of fishy bits and fruity bits and other bits.
All right. Let's get this food and go, all right?
How's Banji doing?
Yeah.
Banji's just kind of like in the background, sort of hand over eyes, and just sort of stumbling around with another hand kind of out.
I run out.
Did we win? Are we still fighting? Is Nuro okay?
I'm all right, Banji. Now, hold on now. Stand still. Let me see your eyes. Oh no, that looks like it hurts. Don't worry. And
it's all right. It's not the first time I've had cinders in my eyes. Just if I could get a bit of water, that'd be nice.
I got you. And I gently whip up a small flow of water and try as gently as I can with my hands going up to your face to wash out your eyes.
I like this visual because, when you get a burn, you should run your hand, put your hand under running water or whatever you've burned. I like the idea that's just sort of like a loop, like just going around his head, just constantly washing down the eyes for the next 10 to... Well, okay, those listening at home, 20 minutes. You need to do it for 20 minutes. If you do it for less, it doesn't count. But for the sake of podcast, a period of time.
Can we go back for a second? I have a move called Honed.
So while that healing's going on, this is something you're doing?
I want to say this happens basically when the fight is ending.
Yep.
Because this makes the most sense then.
Yep.
Because, when the fight's ending, Tomo is still just about to really mess up somebody. And he's angry. He's furious. And then suddenly the fighting stops. And there's a part of him that could just go that little further and keep it going. But I'm going to use Honed to clear condition. I am going to clear angry. And the fact that he can stop, the fact that he can step back and control himself just gives him a lot of relief internally. And I am going to say that I can no longer feel insecure.
I thought when I read it...
Well, look, is that how it works? Because
I thought when I read it, it means that you now can't feel angry because you've cut that off.
I have to mark off.
So when you sublimate your feelings to be effective, clear conditions equal to 1 plus your control. And your control is currently what?
My control is +1.
Great. So you can clear 2, but
Yeah.
And cross off 1 unmarked condition.
That's right.
You can no longer mark that condition for any reason. when you shift your center towards connection, I don't think you have access to that yet. You
No.
store all crossed off conditions. Okay. That's
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yep,
you
excellent.
you are perfect.
I am. I know. My mom tells me that.
How's Minh Fang handling things?
I think
Mike?
he's like he doesn't know if he got away with it, first of all. So no one else is paying attention to him, so he's just going to go on as if nothing happened.
Oh, about the rope?
About the rope. So he's going to start tying his rope to the box to start dragging it down back to the village. Although now that he's just had that thought, he doesn't like it'll be very obvious where the food's gone. Although they'll be doing the same thing. So it doesn't matter. So he's tying his rope around the box to start dragging it down. He sort of gives himself like a little harnessy thing with it to start pulling it down and holds onto the harness like a backpack. He's like, right, I'm ready to go if you are.
Yep. Tomo's going to come up beside him and, get pulled on the rope alongside
Yep.
him. And Tomo's like, Minh Fang, you never fail to surprise me. Good job.
Yeah, I'm full of, yeah. Minh Fang absolutely does not know whether you are being like, if you're calling him out or if you're like just surprised that I managed to talk Bester, sorry. So he's like, yeah,
You talk Boster down.
Boster.
What
Boster.
have you done?
Why did you Boster is the boss. Buster
Big boy Buster.
is the big boy. Bester is
The
he's
most
the best
average.
because he's not.
The most average.
Boster is the boss. Boster is the boss. Yeah, so he can't tell if you're like saying that because I talked Boster down or if you saw me rope bend. So he's a bit stuttery and like, well, yeah, like you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? And get it done and go onward.
I would like it said out loud that I think narratively it happened so fast no one could have possibly have seen it in terms of you'd be worried.
I'm not necessarily. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I feel like I don't want to cut that off. Like
I
Jesse isn't so desperate to hide it, but I feel like if there is a realistic reason why anyone could see it, I'm so happy for that to be the case.
Well, one of them was blind. One of them was busy trying to figure out which tomfa that they dropped to make sure it was the right one. And one of them was very concerned about knives flashing at them and then trying to make sure that Banji was okay. So they were all focused on their own things and it happened very, very quickly. But I can absolutely see Minh Fang is like,
yeah, the first time I was drunk, that time I had no choice, so I can't do that again. That's his internal monologue, by the way. And I think he just sort of stops muttering oddly because he sort of realizes like we succeeded in a way because I did, and that's just proof to me feeling Minh Fang actually feels guilty. So I'm going to mark guilty because he's like, if I was actually openly a bender and not hiding it, I might be helping more.
that's fair.
So I'm going to mark guilty, which puts him at 3 conditions.
Okay.
So Minh Fang's really not feeling great.
Speaking of conditions, we're going to... I think that there's a bit of silence between Tomo and Minh Fang, and going behind we have Banji and Nuro. So fun fact, and I think this will be interesting to see, when you lose your balance, what happens next with a bit of time to recover? You recenter yourself, and your center is now one step towards trust. That diamond in the middle of the page actually moves, so your natural balance is actually +1 trust.
Cool. Cool.
Well, the other bonus is that now that you've done that, you clear all conditions and you clear fatigue as well. So you are completely refreshed.
That was excellent healing. Thank you, Ewan. Are you all right?
I'm alright, Banji. That firebend lady, she didn't get me none.
Oh, that's good. Good. I'm sorry that she took me out. I should be, I should be better. But I know that Minh Fang and Tomo could have protected you if they need to. So, but I'm glad you're okay.
We're all okay, Banji.
Good.
We got out of there okay.
Good. When we were on the ship, the pirate ship, did they have a flag or like a pirate flag?
No, I don't think that they did.
Is there a known pirate symbol? Like, for example, in the real world, we'd have like the Jolly Roger. Is there a known pirate symbol?
Yeah, it's an upside down elephant weasel head.
Cool. Banji's going to run back into the camp, and wherever there's like a bit of wood, he's just going to sort of firebend a little like fire on his finger and just carve the symbol, whatever it is, an upside down elephant
Weasel.
weasel head.
Because it's got the cute eyes of the weasel, but then the tusks come curling around.
Oh,
it.
nice.
And upside down, that would look quite threatening.
Yeah, it looks all
Skull,
threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Banji just kind of carves that into a little bit of wood.
Definitely when I panically made an elephant weasel and said it was upside down, it was because I knew how cool it would look and not just dumb luck.
Hey, it's providence, divine providence.
It's my gin. My gin is coming in handy.
GM talent right there.
Cool. And then after that, Banji's actually going to run up to Minh Fang, who's carrying the
Tomo's
box.
helping.
Yeah. And Banji's going to sort of grab a rope and then put an arm around Minh Fang. And
Hi. Hi, Banji.
Minh Fang, I got to say thank you so much for protecting Nuro. Honestly, I always thought you could do it, but I'm so glad to hear that you did. And I actually want to use guide and comfort on Minh Fang.
Yeah, give it that sweet, sweet roll.
And sort of like playfully kind of massaging his shoulders a little bit.
Like in a sports way.
Yeah, in like a sports way.
See, I like when you first did this, I thought this was like a drunken confession. I love you, man. You're so good. Like it's like, and that trust has just gone straight to his head. But no, I think this is great.
Yeah. So I need to roll
With harmony.
which is a 0 at the moment.
Better than nothing.
Oh, it's a 5.
What does
The
that
massaging is a bit weird. It just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Comfortable now. I'm like, cool.
It just doesn't
Mark
hit.
another.
I mean, it depends. If the other two also help and mark a fatigue to do so, you get a full body massage while you're walking. I'll work the calves. You work the head.
On a miss, it just doesn't hit, so nothing happens.
Wait, so one of us can help with this. If we mark
if
the
one of
fatigue.
you marks, if you
Both.
both mark fatigue, you can.
If both of you mark fatigue, you are actively helping. That being said, you don't have to, because I think that narratively it makes sense that Minh Fang's well and truly in his own head currently.
Yeah.
But yeah, if both of you contribute,
They might pull him out of it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Nuro would help. Absolutely. Would come up and kind of start kind of cooing over Min as well.
What would you say?
That'd work.
Min, I'm mighty grateful of how you helped me against Boster.
Oh, it was Boster.
It was
I mean,
Boster.
No, he's wrong. I'm pretty sure it was.
I don't even know which one it was now, but
Yeah, I don't know why they all have. Do you reckon they had their names and then they found each other, or did they choose their names together?
it was destiny.
I hope not.
Anyway, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's whatever.
Tomo, how are you contributing?
If at all.
I mean, it'd be a waste of Georgie's fatigue.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to put down a hand on your shoulder as well, and not massaging you, just in a reassuring way. You did really well. You should be proud. Talking down pirates, that's a good move.
Yeah, what happens on a mixed success?
No, it counts as a hit. You get to choose. You embrace the guidance and comfort, clear a condition or two fatigue. You may ask one question and Banji will answer honestly. Alternatively, you can shut Banji down, but they will inflict a condition on you and you shift their balance. which I feel is not
No,
the
I
correct
don't think
thing.
that's
I'm just saying that for people at home that those are the two things that can happen.
I'm going to clear Insecure because they've just really reaffirmed Min and his actions. I think he's still troubled, and I still think he feels guilty, but I think he's feeling a bit more confident now. And I have to ask a question as well to Banji.
To Banji.
And he has to answer honestly. Like,
Briefs.
Do you know I'm an earthbender?
oh well, thanks everyone. That's great. I appreciate you saying that. That's very kind of you. Banji, you've had the most experience with the wall in all of us. Is this actually going to do anything?
What we're doing is perhaps not going to last forever, but what it will do is help those people now. And unfortunately, in this war, the only thing that I know for certain is that if we can help now, we should. And perhaps it will help them defend themselves better in the future, and perhaps not, but we've done the right thing and we've given these people another day to fight.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. And speaking of helping, could you all push this box maybe a little bit? 'Cause I'm really struggling here.
Don't you worry about that. I climb, I run behind and try to push.
Great.
I try to push.
It moves at the exact same speed.
Tomo's still pulling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banji gets behind and tries to sort of like lift the back of the box up a bit so that it doesn't drag and lead right back to the village where it's going.
Okay, I think on that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'll use the rope and we can like hold the rope and hold it up and sort of waddle our way down.
All right. You do manage to get back. Matter of fact, the hardest part, which takes you the longest, is getting up over that crest that allowed you to sort of look across what's going on. And you actually begin to see that the fighting that had begun has dissipated and they're now heading back to their various camps. Fun fact, it kind of looks like the Fire Nation troops are heading towards that cache. So they might have won this particular this particular battle, and so they're heading in, which we may or may not ever find out the reason or result that will occur from them finding the little pirate symbol. I'll be very impressed with that. But you do eventually get it back to the village. And you, Banji, are filled with a sense of pride because you hear them sound an okay alarm as you come over, having seen the exact spot that they were ready for it. And people come out and they begin to help move the cart and begin to stockpile things.
All right, let's grab some food, enough for a couple of days, and let's go. Yes?
Agreed.
Yes.
Great.
Where's
They-
Johnny?
We see her drunkenly stumble through Hazel and like, you guys are back. Smack onto the ground.
A little bit, and funnily enough, yes, Yanni comes in and she's like, "So just a trading," and guess what? Nuro this for you, and she passes you what looks like a stick. It's a very, very old piece of wood.
Okay, I take it. Can I?
The moment you take it, you are flashed away. Everybody else that's looking at Nuro sees the exact same head motion that she pulled when you were in Omashu. And you get 3 images flood into your head.
Okay.
The first image is of the fox. It's the exact same fox you saw. Scroll in mouth, walking through the desert. And in the desert, he comes to this large spire, which you realize is pretty much pretty close to the image that the fox drew. It's sticking out. It's not it's not completely buried by sand at this point. There is enough that you can see that you recognize it is a structure. And the fox looks around before walking on in. You are then flashed away. The second location you flash to is some sort of island, a volcano burning off in the distance, but creating enough light that it seems perpetually menacing. She is fighting an unknown assailant you can't see from your vision. But the most notable feature about this very strong and very confident woman is that one of her hands, her left hand, is made entirely of rock. Think a Dai Li glove, but that is her entire arm. And she's even using it to fight with. You are then flashed out and sent to a place that you know very, very well. It's where this stick came from. It's Foggy Swamp. And you see something, you don't know what it is. It's almost like the trees, the bushes, the shrubs themselves are on the move from a predator. You don't know what it's running from, but you can feel its sense of panic and you can tell it needs help. And then you are brought back to yourself.
Nuro comes back to themselves, crouched on the ground. I would say coming out of those visions, they just crumple up and grab their head. They're not prepared for any of that. They go through.
Banji, something's wrong with Nuro.
All three of you have seen that stick sprouted 3 leaves in succession, as if it is now reblooming.
Is Nuro still holding the stick?
Did you drop it or are you still holding it?
Still holding.
Still holding.
Cool. Banji's seen this before, one of these episodes, but he just like really quickly kneels down and grabs the stick out of their hand and then like holds a hand on their like shoulders as they're curled up and doesn't say anything, but just sort of looks to the two and is like,
Yeah.
and holds the stick.
I think this is very familiar to you.
Yeah.
Very familiar.
Yeah, it takes a while for Nuro to come back to themselves. So eventually they feel their body again, and
Yanni breaks the tension just by saying, like, snoring and then go, I brought you a stick.
Yeah,
Completely having missed all of that.
I'll take care of her. And I pick up Yanni. I'm like, we're going to go on an adventure.
Who are you? You're so plain. You're basically nobody. Oh, you've got great hair, though.
Can you stop talking about my hair, please?
Oh, it's Minh Fang. Hi.
Tomo's going to look around to see if anyone else outside of our group saw that.
I don't think anyone saw that it was... anyone that might have seen it didn't notice the significance.
Okay, that's fine. And he just stands guard over Banji and Nuro, giving them space. Like, this is definitely their moment. He's not going to be a part of that, but he's just holding space.
Banji, where am I?
Wee one, you're safe. It's all right. You're with me. It's okay.
I grab for your hand.
Yeah. Would you like to come up? And Banji sort of turns around to offer his back.
Yeah, I slowly climb on. Take me back to the ship, Banji.
Aye, no bother, wee one. And then just sort of like we did before, but less panicky, just hoisting them up on the back and start solemnly walking back to the ship.
Mm.
I guess I just whisper to Banji, to Banji, sorry.
It's okay. You're allowed
It's very Nuro to be like Banji. So it's,
I mean, if we can't get Boster, and Boster right, what hope have we got for Banji? Banji.
I just kind of like whisper into your ear, I think something's wrong at home.
I know. I'm sorry.
I want to go back, but I can't.
We can't go back there, wee one. I'm sorry.
I gotta go back, Banji.
Maybe when this is done, we can all go back and help. But for now, there's nothing we can do.
I know what the fox meant when they showed me a tower in the middle of nothing. I think I know where we gotta go.
Oh, that's great. I'm so proud of you, wee one.
And then I'm exhausted. I pass out.
Yeah.
That's all I can give you.
Yeah, I think that you get back to the ship and you just put Yanni and Nuro in the same, and they're both just out.
I just curl in. Curl into Yanni, basically.
I think Minh Fang's standing there. He's just put Yanni down, and you've just put Nuro down, and Tomo's like standing with the food, and I'm like, I am concerned. Like, they are getting very close, and she is a bad influence. She's drunk again. Again,
we need to talk to her. I think she's. But look, we have food. Do we have a direction? I turned to Banji.
I think we should all just get some sleep. It's
Look.
late. It's been a long day.
you two go to sleep. I will start doing the pedal thing on the boat. At least if we're on the water, we're safe.
I think I agree. Let's get off this island.
Right. I'll take the first pedal. Pedal? Pedal watch? Paddle watch. I'll take paddle watch.
Paddle watch. That works for me.
If you see any smoke, wake me.
I mean, yes. Sorry, I don't know why I did that, but we're just talking a lot recently. And anyway,
It's all right, pal. I loved it.
No, it doesn't suit me. Minh Fang puts his normal clothes back on and is like, there we go. Yes.
I ship it.
Good God.
It's going to happen to all of us at one point.
Oh, no.
As the boat sails off into the night, paddles off into the night, we see a shot of CD Merchant Pier. As the Fire Nation troops are beginning to clear out, homes are being extinguished and the people are beginning to try and go about their lives again. We see Zhao back in his uniform, top knot back, having a drink and sketching something. After he has a quick look at it, he hands the piece of paper to a subordinate and says, I want you to find out everything you can about this man. And as he hands the paper over, we see, just for a second, a very clear picture of Banji's face.
The Book of War is Lucas Lee as Tomo, Georgie Hazel as Nuro, Ted Darling as Banji, myself, Jesse Thomas as Minh Fang, and Ash Cooper as our Game Master. Our theme song and outro, The Book of War Remains, is by Matt Harrison, and additional sound effect and music is from zapsplat.com. We are now affiliated with Arkenforge. Arkenforge is an immersive in-person tool that combines everything you need to play your in-person tabletop role-playing games into one convenient software. You can build maps, you can play music and sound effects, you can manage campaigns. I've actually been using Arkenforge in my current games, running all my soundscapes and stuff for my pirate-themed arc that my players are currently in, and it's working a treat. I absolutely love it, so I highly recommend it myself. So go check them out at arkenforge.com. You can use our code TheBookOfWar, all one word, to get $5 off the toolkit, and this code works for the Arkenforge Fantasy Starter or the Arkenforge Sci-Fi Starter products. As I've previously mentioned, Ash and Lucas are both running tabletop games of Avatar Legends at this year's Conquest in Melbourne. So if you're around, go say hey, they'd love to hear from you. Also, if they get sick because they've been out in public, obviously that's going to affect our release thing. I don't think it'll happen, but just giving you all a heads up just in case they get sick while they're out there. So there's going to be a lot of people, so it's just likely to happen nowadays. The next episode will be out April 22nd, so we will see you then.
So I will roll now.
How did you manage to cause so much chaos in such a short space? And by space, I mean the physical space you occupy.
Excellently
Oh,
cast.
you're
aren't
doing
I?
the double hand.
Oh, I am. I didn't even mean to
Oh,
either.
no.
I haven't done it properly.
Yes,
This
yes.
is disgusting. That. I don't know how that happened.
disgusting.
Disgust on Jesse's face right now.